being a devil worshiping prostitute is just really boring now. It's just been done so many times. The attempts to shock aren't even shocking. What would be shocking is, hey, here's a genuinely beautiful performance of something. We're going to have this opera singer come up and do this beautiful rendition of whatever, right? That would be such a shock and so exciting. But the attempt to just reduce art to this shock value and cultural attack and whatever that's been more and more common since, the countercultural movement of the 60s and 70s. I feel like they won. And we're living in that culture, that counterculture. And it's just boring.
And I think it's an interesting thought, but it's like in the crowd, do the people have the capacity to receive something beautiful like the opera singer, like you're saying? And that's kind of what we were talking about before. It was like there is a subjective element to how much we can appreciate objective beauty. And so like the task for like growing as a human is to kind of expand our capacity to like stretch our hearts to be able to like stay in the beauty. Like, I don't know if you've had this experience, but you talk about, you've had trip to the mountains with your friends and you talk about, oh yeah, it's going to be so great. And then you get to the mountain and you see like the beauty of it. But it's like hard for me to stay looking at how awesome the mountain is.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's like, I'm so used to being distracted. I'm so used to being, what's the next thing, that like to stay and just like soak in the beauty of it is hard. It's like it's like a muscle that needs to be worked. So,
and we talked about that forever ago on the show, but an analogy that I've used a lot is poetry. I want to like poetry. Right. I want to read great poetry. I want to enjoy it. Right. And I view it sort of as like with coffee. Right. So I just said to Janice a few minutes ago, she said, would you like me to make you a cup of coffee? Because we're going to film another show after this. I got a lot of time to talk. And I used to not like coffee, right? But then I started drinking coffee for utility because I wanted to like coffee, right? I was going to drink coffee because I wanted the impact of coffee on me, right? So I started drinking coffee, just straight up black coffee, whatever they had, coffee brand coffee. I don't care. Give me the cheap stuff, whatever. And over time of just sort of choking down my coffee every morning for the purpose of, staying awake, I started to learn things about coffee and things that I liked and I enjoyed. And now I like a little bit of this and I prefer this roast from here. And I like it, all of these things. And I've realized it's been the same. My journey with coffee has literally run parallel to my journey with poetry. I started forcing myself to read poetry. And at first it was just like, because I've been trained to be this immediate gratification kind of guy. And I'm force feeding myself like Percy Shelley and all of this stuff. And over time, though, I start to realize, oh, no, I actually kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I'm drawing these connections. Yes. And what it is my heart having almost scales fall from it, right? And all of a sudden realizing, oh, my goodness, this is amazing. This is speaking to me as a human being in a way that scrolling through Reddit on my phone is in no way satisfying.